Good evening. The time is 5 o'clock, and here's the world news at 5. First, the top stories. Governor Musu withholds assent to a bill seeking to arm urban vigilance service. Buhari will seek re-election in 2019, says Secretary to the federal government. National Economic Council to determine the actual price of petrol. Armed bandits kill several people in fresh attack in Zamfara State. On the foreign scene, Oxfam to probe staff involvement in sex scandal. Australian Prime Minister indicted by his deputy. I am Tobi Joseph, bringing the news in details shortly. Governor Vikramamoso is yet to assent to a bill seeking to arm the vigilante service of Ogun State 5 months after the State Assembly passed the bill. The bill, titled the Ogun State Community Social Orientation and Safety Corps Bill, was passed by the Assembly on September 14, 2017 and sent to the Governor for his assent. Apart from empowering personnel of the security agency to carry arms, the bill provides the legal framework for it to function more effectively. The State Justice Commissioner, Dr. Ayeni, confirmed to Rock City FM that the Governor is still looking critically at every aspect of the bill before giving his assent. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, recently directed the State Police Commissioners to disarm any of the state government-owned security agencies carrying arms. He explained that only the police and other approved security agencies are empowered to carry arms. Ayeni, however, explained that the bill is for the Vigilante Service of Ogun State to provide security for the people of the state and allow the group to obtain license from relevant federal government agencies to carry arms. Nigeria Customs Service has launched a manhunt for the arms smugglers who attacked its patrol team and inflicted serious injury on one of its officers during an operation in the Yowa axis of Ogun State. The officer, during last Wednesday operation at Ifon-Itedo, was inflicted with a life-threatening injury on his shoulder. State Controller of the agency, Sani Madugu, addressing a news conference at the Jiroko border post of the command, says that a full-scale investigation of the incident is being undertaken to ensure that the attackers are arrested and prosecuted. He warns that his officers will henceforth respond to the armed smugglers and economic saboteurs in any life-threatening encounter. Describing the attackers as mindless, irresponsible, and unpatriotic elements. He says the officer who sustained a life-threatening injury is responding to treatment at the National Orthopedic Hospital in Igbobi in Lagos. The controller says the command in the last 2 weeks made a seizure of items worth 153 billion naira at the Diroko axis of the state. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Mustafa Boss, says President Muhammadu Buhari will contest the 2019 presidential poll. According to him, there is no alternative to Buhari ahead of the poll. Mustafa, addressing a rally organized by Democratic Youth Congress at the Unity Fountain in Abuja, says other 2019 presidential poll aspirants have nothing to offer the nation. Buhari, according to him, is divinely given to Nigeria and has transformed and changed the image of leadership in the country. Chairman of the Congress, Kasim, asked President Buhari to make public his intention on the 2019 poll. Senators have been forced to adjourn plenary by heat wave in the National Assembly chamber. The adjournment followed a point of order raised by Senator Ibrahim Gobir, who drew the attention of the Senate to the heat in the chamber. The Senate President, Bukola Saraki, agreed with the senator that the heat in the chamber is unbearable. The senators are to go on a break till Tuesday next week to enable the repair of the fault to the chamber's electrical and cooling system. National Economic Council has set up a committee to determine the correct price of petrol. The committee is to work with the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and NPC to determine the price. The council, however, says it lacks the power to raise the pump price of petrol. Governor Muhammad Abubakar made this known to the State House correspondent after the meeting of the council presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the presidential villa Abuja. Abubakar explains that the committee and NNPC will in the course of their assignment determine the price of petrol in the neighboring countries where some of the petrol produced in Nigeria have been smuggled to. The governor says the council was briefed by NNPC Group Managing Director Mekanti Balu and it was discovered that the continued petrol scarcity was due to the exchange rate of the naira and a sharp rise in the world market price of crude oil. All this, according to the governor, combined to increase the landing cost of imported petrol, which discouraged major marketers from further import, leaving NPC as the only importer of petrol. Meanwhile, hope of an early end to the prolonged petrol scarcity has been dashed by Petroleum Resources Minister of State, Dr. Ibe Kachiko. Kachiko said the presidency still needs to address certain fundamental policy issues and logistics before the petrol queues will disappear from filling stations. He, however, assured that the presidency is not considering raising the pump price of the product because President Muhammad Buhari is committed to the 145 naira per litre price regime. The minister addressing the news conference in Abuja explained that one critical area that must be addressed is the differential between the landing cost of petrol and the pump price. He, however, directed the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and NPC to end the petrol queues in Abuja this weekend ahead of the forthcoming Global Oil Summit holding in the city. Gunmen have attacked a village in Zamfara State, leaving scores of people dead and others injured. The attack on Thursday took place at Birane village in Zurmi local government area. The bandits, according to witnesses, intercepted a bus, slit the throat of the driver, and then opened gunfire at the vehicle. Everybody on board the vehicle were killed in a shooting spree by the gunmen, who also set the vehicle on fire. They later visited the markets in the village, shooting at everyone in sight before escaping. Spokesman of the State Police Command, Mohammed Shehu, explained that the attack is a reprisal attack against hunters and vigilante group who earlier launched a preemptive attack on the bandit. Last November, bandits killed 24 in attacks in the Shinkafe local government area, after which the army set up a brigade in the axis to stop further attacks in Zamfara, Katsina, and Kebbi State. You're still listening to the World News at 5 on Rock City 101.9 FM. Up next will be your foreign, business, and sport news. Please do stay with us. Oxfam says it will set up a commission to investigate past and present allegations of exploitation by staff. Oxfam International's Executive Director, Winnie Banyima, said it will do justice and atone for the past. She invited victims to come forward for justice to be done for them, saying she was here for all the women who have been abused. The British charity has faced criticisms over the way it handled claims staff hired prostitutes in Haiti in 2011. Ms. Bayanyima, the most senior Oxfam executive to speak on the issue, said she first heard of the controversy after a news report last week. Earlier this month, a news report said that during a humanitarian mission in Haiti in 2011, the charity's country director, Roland van Hervermeren, hired prostitutes at a villa paid for by Oxfam. Australian Deputy Prime Minister Barnaby Joyce has sharply criticized the nation's leader, Malcolm Turnbull, in an escalation of tensions that have rocked the government. Mr. Turnbull admonished Mr. Joyce for making a shocking error over his affair with a former staffer, saying it had set off a world of woes. The Deputy Prime Minister has repeatedly said Mr. Joyce's future is a decision for the Nationals, most of whom have publicly backed their leader. Leader of the opposition, Bill Shorten, said the government was eating itself alive and called on Mr. Turnbull to sack Mr. Joyce immediately. Prime Minister Joyce said he would try to repair his relationship with Mr. Turnbull, but again stepped down calls to resign. In business, shareholders of Paint and Coatings Manufacturers of Nigeria (PLC) had to vote on the resolutions that will result in the conversion of the company to a private limited liability company. It will also facilitate the delisting of its shares from the Nigerian Stock Exchange. A new company, Paintcom Investment Nigeria Limited, is proposed to emerge after the delisting. The Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria (AMCON) recently sold the fourth largest equity stake in the company to Bisfit Ventures Limited, a relatively unknown firm. The block divestment involved the transfer of a total of 58.66 million ordinary shares of 50 copper each held by AMCON to Bisfit Ventures at a negotiated price of 1 naira 5 copper per share. Finally, the one news at 5 Sport News. Super Eagles of Nigeria have dropped one spot in a new ranking released on Thursday by World Football Governing Body FIFA. The ranking recently released shows Super Eagles occupy the 52nd spot and remain 7th on the continent of Africa. Despite playing in the finals of the African Nation Championship CHAN, where they lost 1-4 to Morocco, Nigeria's appearance at the tournament did little to improve their standings on the monthly ranking. Ahead of Russia 2018 World Cup, Nigeria's opponent Argentina is the only team in the top 20 in the world, and they are ranked 4th. Tunisia, Senegal, Congo DR, Morocco, and Egypt are the top-ranked African teams in that order. Germany, Brazil, and Portugal remain the world top 3 in the global ranking. That was the world news at 5, and just before we go, the major stories once again. Governor Bikila Muson withholds assent to a bill seeking to arm Ogun Vigilance Service. President Buhari will seek re-election in 2019, says Secretary to the Federal Government. National Economic Council to determine the actual petrol price. Armed bandits killed several people in fresh attack in Zamfara State. Oxfam to probe staff involvement in sex scandal. Australian Prime Minister indicted by his deputy. For more stories and to listen to us live, please log on to our website www.rockcityfmradio.com/live. Thank you so much for listening. I am Tobi Joseph. Good evening.